Welcome back to Subculture on CentralCoastRadio.com, where we're about to play a brand new track on our show called Stepping Out. And we thought, you know what, let's get the artist on the phone to chat a little bit about this amazing new single. Welcome to the program, Leroy Macqueen.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Now, Leroy, tell us a little bit about this track, Stepping Out, because this is a very, very personal track for you. So tell us a little bit about how this track came about.
It's one of probably the only song I've ever sat down with my guitar and pretty much as long as the song goes is how long it actually took to complete writing the song, which I wish that happened more often, but it doesn't. Because I think I just had so much to say at the time about the way I was feeling on the inside and about gender and identity, and there was just a lot bubbling up, so I feel like it just sort of came quite easy and kind of kept it simple with the chords, and it sort of just went from there, and then we didn't really change it that much from the original demo to what you'll hear now.
This is the kind of track that I know a lot of people are going to listen to and are going to relate to. Are you ready for that, for people reaching out to you and saying, hey, I heard the track and I know exactly how you were feeling when you wrote it?
Yeah, I've already had it. Recently, even someone must have signed up from Reno, Nevada on my mailing list and wrote how much the song meant to them. And, I mean, that's what it's all about, right? You know?
Yeah.
I kind of liked it that it was a personal song for me, but now it's out in the world. And, so many people have DM'd me and or have just said it to me at a few shows since the song's come out, like what it means to them, and that's the beautiful thing about art and music, you know.
A lot of people will remember you from the Gooch Palms, and there's a big change in your musical style over the years. Tell us a little bit about that journey as well.
I feel like I was already late, sort of 2019. I was heading this direction, but I knew I couldn't do it within. I didn't want to fully change the Gooch Palms from what we were.
Yeah.
And we had felt like we had accomplished everything we'd ever wanted to do as a band. And so we just sort of thought we'd put a pause on things. And then I just thought that I've never been a person to kind of do multiple projects at once. So once the pause got put on the Gooch Palms, I sort of thought, well, maybe I will have a crack at the country thing that I've wanted to do for a long time. So, so it's kind of it's gone really quick. Now it's been 3 years of doing this, and it feels really normal now. At the beginning it felt quite odd, starting a new project and whatnot, but now I definitely feel like I'm in it for the long haul now.
Where did your love of country music come from? I know for me, people know me more for loving rock and metal, but I've got a love for country that started there because my grandfather used to listen to country music when I was around. Where did your love for
I think that's how it starts for a lot of people with country music. It starts with family or friends or a grandparent. But for me, because I'm 35, so for me, pop music, there was so many country mega hits just in the top 50 every week, like Reba. You had Dolly was still putting out songs. You had Brooks and Dunn. The list goes on. Billy Ray Cyrus with "Achy Breaky Heart." It was just coming at you from all directions. Garth Brooks.
Yep.
So the 90s, and then you had rock bands like Bon Jovi pretending to be country because it was just so hot. Shania Twain wasn't far away in the mid 90s, and I feel like being it was just kind of everywhere I looked.
Definitely, yeah. Now, I get very, very skeptical when I get sent press releases. I've read so many over the years, and yours said that you channel Elvis Presley and Roy Orbison, and then when I listened to the track, I heard that, and I was just absolutely blown away and amazed. How does that make you feel, being likened to Elvis and Roy Orbison, and then having people say, I actually hear that with the track?
Yeah, it is pretty weird, because, I've been the biggest Elvis fan since day dot. So I think, and like my dad was a huge Roy Orbison fan and actually got to see him live when my dad was like only 13. But yeah, and I just sort of like, it just feels really comfortable to sing in that register, and always has. So, I mean, I still, when people say it to me, it's pretty, I'm very flattered, but at the same time, you know, being a little bit modest, you kind of get a bit like embarrassed at the same time. Yeah. You're like, well, that's a big call.
Now, I wanted to talk about the video clip as well, because it's an amazing video clip, but you're almost upstaged by two little doggos, Woody and Belfie. Tell us a little bit about the video clip and what it was like working with those cute pups.
Well, they're very famous around Melbourne, Belfie and Woody. They're just pub dogs. So at any given time, someone has got one of them just hanging out, and they're just always everywhere at gigs. And we sort of were like, really wanted to keep the concept of the music video really, really simple, and kind of just being inspired by the lyrics and being really raw and sort of leaving nothing on the table. So we sort of just set it on at that, and then Nikki, who made the music video, was like, it'd be cool to have a dog. And I was like, I know 2 dogs that would be perfect. Yeah, so they say never work with animals, but I had no complaints.
Definitely. Well, Leroy, we are going to play the track Stepping Out on our show right now. I guess a lot of people are going to ask the question, though, is this leading into something bigger? Can we expect an album or an EP to come? What's next for you?
All I can say right now is there will be another single within the next, 2 months. And that's as far as I know right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Leroy, we are going to play Stepping Out on our show right now. So what would you like to say to all of our listeners out there before they listen to this stunning track?
Sit back, relax, and enjoy my new single, Stepping Out. That's probably the dorkiest thing I've said.
Well, Leroy, we want to thank you so much for coming on our show.
No worries,
it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. And for all of our listeners out there, here is Leroy Macqueen with Stepping Out.
Thank you.